men playing with snakes, bulls backflipping, cows with inverted horns. Cameras often capture unbelievable moments that simply blow our minds away. And here are 20 such shocking things caught on camera. Man kisses snake. Would you kiss a venomous snake if you were offered life-changing money? It is definitely not the brightest idea, but this guy from India would disagree. In the clip, you can see how he approaches one of the deadliest snakes, known as the king cobra. Sneaking behind the snake, he slowly leans forward and kisses gently on its back. This grabs the attention of the snake as it pounces on him, but luckily, that guy manages to escape just in time. Bull backflips. Either this is the best backflip or pure luck to have made that perfect backflip. Talk about the opposite day. Here is another clip with something no one could have ever expected. A bull doing a backflip. As the bull approaches to swing, it accidentally swings low, having its horns stuck in the ground, while its forward momentum turns the table, pulling the bull upside down. As the bull is turned upside down, it needs someone to help it get back to its feet. Truckload of cows flips on road. A dash cam in Russia captures an 18-wheeler that loses balance and flips on the road while being loaded with dozens of cows. While the truck seems to be extensively damaged, cows initially stumble and roll over onto the ground, but then, surprisingly, they get back on their feet almost immediately. Inside of an elephant. Ever seen before how elephants eat? Well, if not, here's your chance to see how this elephant did it. A huge piece of watermelon is placed into the mouth, to which the elephant grips and uses the teeth at the top of its jaw to crush and eat the watermelon. The look of it creates a resemblance to when a laptop takes in a disc. Three-horned bull. Three-horned? Does something like this even exist? Or is it just a myth? I can understand if some of you would be skeptical, but this video taken in India clearly displays they do exist. The bull looks just like any other common bull, except with three horns raised vertically in a trident-like shape. If you still don't believe me, you can find them yourself in India and Uganda. Weird-looking creature caught on camera. Is that real-life Smeagol? Well, it looks quite a lot like him. In real life, the closest resemblance of that creature might be of a monkey. It might even be a version of a hairless monkey. On being in the spotlight of the camera, the creature keeps backing up while looking back at the camera as it is saying you can see, but you can't touch. Dog tries to escape from a clueless owner. The whole point of having a pet dog is to give and get love, especially since they are the man's best friend. In the clip, however, a woman with a dog on a leash waits for the elevator doors to open. When the dog, who, let's face it, isn't fond of its owner, moves in the opposite direction to a point that its leash gets caught by the elevator doors with the owner inside. Luckily, a good Samaritan on its side comes to the rescue when the dog gets pulled. Young lady rescues pet from a bear. Ever faced a bear barehanded? Here's a clip of an epic incident where a young lady pushes a bear who seems to be lost with two cubs in the middle of a city. Upon sighting the bear, three dogs pursue the intruding bear, to which it reacts by attempting to maul them. The young lady rushes out and pushes the bear off the wall to save her dogs. Dog and car. While some of you don't believe in coincidences, they do happen all the time. This clip, for instance, is where an innocent dog was passing by what appears to be a rally off-road. Within a few moments, a rally car appears in speed and miraculously misses the dog with a bump behind the dog that takes the car in the air above it, high enough, making it a close call. The dog, terrified of the incident, is seen to be getting off the track soon after. Yak close call. What's the wildest and most dangerous creature that you've come across while being on a country trail? I'm sure it wouldn't have been this funny. In this footage, a cyclist, while riding across the beautiful countryside, suddenly comes across a huge black yak that looked like it was about to charge into him. The cyclist calmed down the standoff by slowly moving backwards while gesturing in a defensive mode. To his success, the yak finally stepped back, and the cyclist lived to see another day. Polar bear prison. A polar bear prison? Sounds quite sketchy, but not really. The residents of Churchill, Canada, who face not only the danger of freezing to death, but also the risk of polar bears. Since the city is located near the hunting grounds of the bears, it is common for the people to encounter them. As for a solution, they established a compound, which is known to be the only polar bear prison in the world. This compound captures the bears that are encountered and keeps them in a facility to conserve the wildlife while protecting the residents. Bear in pursuit. Not a runner? Well, now you are. Was the situation for this one guy who was cycling in the middle of the woods when a massive brown bear came out of nowhere and started chasing him. With survival being the primary motivator, the cyclist was pedaling for his life. With a log blocking his path, the cyclist was forced to ditch his bicycle and flee on foot. At this point, he hid. After a while, the bear lost interest and went away. Tree climbing goat. Can goats really climb trees? Yes, they can. Goats are incredible creatures, since they're excellent all-round climbers. In fact, goats are even able to climb steep walls of a mountain, which makes them able to survive in almost any environment. The clip clearly shows goats in southwest Morocco on top of an argan tree, and some climbing their way down. Since the usual pastures are scarce, they explore the tree for more food, with their slim, lightweight bodies and their split hooves helps them grip in steep and rocky areas. Bull's horns grow outside in. What could be more brutal than this? This clip shows how a poor bull had both of its horns pierced into its head. Although the guy is helping the poor creature by cutting out the horns, while the bull looks very eager to be relieved. The owner shouldn't have let this happen in the first place. Imagine the horror of slow torture that this bull must have gone through. Anyhow, after the horns are cut short, we can see holes in either side of the bull's head. Man versus kangaroo. Who would want to fight a kangaroo, or why? While kangaroos might seem adorable and cute, that isn't exactly true in real life. In this video, a man on a hunting trip found his dog held by a kangaroo in a headlock. The dog owner quickly rushed to the scene, and once he got closer, the kangaroo diverted attention towards him, having lost its grip over the dog, while the dog managed to escape. The enraged man punched the kangaroo, eventually scaring it off. Elephant lifts car. Nope, not to gain more strength, but to use the strength they have as things heat up. 3 circus elephants on a beach in Karbixmund go haywire when the circus workers lose control and apparently hit the elephant with a crowbar. The furious elephants are dangerously close to the people holding their babies, with the elderly on mobility scooters and onlookers in the vicinity. One of the 3 elephants further rampages and smashes a car and terrifies holidaymakers. Little cat scares big cat. Have you ever intimidated a tiger? Well, this cat did. With their size, strength, and predator behavior, they get to be really scary naturally. In this clip, you can see a huge tiger curiously examining the little feline by sniffing, and while the little one is not having it. The cat makes a sudden move, terrifying the tiger for a moment as its guard is down. Bit insulting for the big guy, huh? Furry thieves. Well, they may be thieves. At least they won't go after your valuable belongings. Raccoons are the only furry creatures who dare to cross limits. These masked bandits are known omnivores, as they steal pretty much anything from bird eggs, pet food, to fast food. In this clip, you can watch raccoons stealing pizza slices, cat food, and even a donut. They may seem cute and fluffy, but these are wild animals and should always be approached with caution. Frog versus crab. Sounds like an interesting duo, huh? Many against one is a bit unfair, but in spite of this crab being outnumbered, it still manages to toss the frogs all around in what appears to be a friendly brawl. ALDABRA tortoise. While you might think that you've seen how big tortoises are, you'll be terrified at first coming across the ALDABRA tortoise. These giant tortoises weigh up to 550 pounds, with the shell being 4 feet in length. They can move faster than you think, and have the longest lifespan of any living creature. These tortoises are found on ALDABRA Atoll, an archipelagic island in western Indian Ocean, just above Madagascar. Cat saves a toddler. Cats might be everyone's favorite animal, even though they usually ignore them. They often have feelings for their owners. This clip, for example, is where the cat is the only guardian around the room, saves a toddler from falling down the stairs. We can see that the cat keeps an eye on the toddler while playing around, and steps into action as the toddler moves towards the edge, and stops the toddler multiple times from taking another step. Campers encounter lions. Ever came across carnivorous animals while camping? It might not be the smartest idea to camp around the local wildlife without taking proper measures. This must be the most terrifying camping clip ever. In it, a bunch of campers, while in their tents, encounter some late-night guests. According to experts, tents are the best shelter against any wild animal. That is, if you don't have any strong scent or food within, as they would have no problem tearing the tent to shreds. The lions approach the tents curiously, while the campers panic, fueling even more attention towards themselves. Old-timer tries to subdue an alligator. The old-timer wanted to subdue an alligator to scratch it off his bucket list. The tools he prepared to catch it with were nothing more than his jacket, a camera crew, and some notes from a documentary. He went all the way from a hero to zero, making a joke of himself. He's lucky to be alive after the stunt he pulled. Cow visited by a friendly leopard. One might question, how did this ever happen? This footage shows a leopard visiting its cow friend and chilling together. They are both seen sitting next to each other in a way that they know each other well. While it definitely looks like an odd choice of friendship, as usually a leopard would choose to hunt a cow rather than to sit beside it, maybe they were both raised together. But that part remains to be a total mystery. Mysterious creature caught on CCTV. What could be more scary than spotting a strange-looking creature walking in a weird manner in the middle of the night? At first glance, the resemblance of the creature looks like that of Dobby from Harry Potter. Once the clip got mainstream, the entire community got its attention, wondering what that creature was. Some people considered it to be a kid in a funny costume, or perhaps that was indeed actually a mystery creature. Ordinary dog buys produce. How far along do you get with your dog? Does it only fetch the items you toss, or does it also fetch you produce from the market? The dog in this clip seems to do so for its owner. It picks the produce pieces itself, placing it in the basket, pays, waits to receive the change, and catches the basket from just the right spot to the next vendor and then back to its owner. One-eyed goat. Seen anything like this before? Goats are useful creatures, especially since their milk is good for bones. For a goat to be born with one eye, it's quite uncommon to happen. But when it does, it's due to a condition called cyclopia. It's a rare anomaly where the two hemispheres of the brain do not separate in the womb. This deformation also affects the rest of the body, like smaller jaws, while the teeth are missing. Dinosaur mummy. Ever happen to make a shocking discovery while digging the dirt? A group of miners, while on an ordinary day, found remains of a Nodosauridae dinosaur. At first, it was believed to be some kind of huge rock, but upon examination, scientists revealed its true identity. This creature is believed to be as old as 110 million years. It stretched nearly 18 feet long and weighed 3,000 pounds. Well, how did it remain preserved for so long? That's because the corpse of this creature was buried in a muddy tomb, preserving its remains. Shaking them off. How did it come off so easily? I know I could ask the same question again and again. In footage captured in the dark, a buck moving around in the wild shakes its head, but shakes it a bit too hard, that not one, but both of his antlers fall off of his head. The buck, being confused by it, suddenly turns back and runs away. On recovering the camera, both the antlers of the buck were found. Daring mommy. Ever seen how daring wild animal mothers can be? A camera was placed facing a wolf's den to monitor the activity. With the melting of snow, the den was slowly getting flooded with water. To save the young wolves from drowning, the mother wolf started taking several of her babies out to safety one by one, while risking her own life in the process. The favorite cygnets. Are you your mother's favorite child? If you think that this isn't a thing, this clip would say otherwise. It's a great example where a mother swan has one of her offspring on her back while the rest of them are floating, following behind her. She clearly has made it public for everyone to see. Crocodile versus monkeys. How did this happen? In the video, we can see a monkey gets caught in the jaws of a crocodile when it was probably there to quench its thirst. As it struggles to relieve itself from the jaws of certain death, dozens of his fellows step in to save their buddy. The crocodile, being outnumbered, struggles to maintain its grip, but the monkeys are able to free their comrade. Snake on a plane. Were snakes actually on a plane, like in the movie starring Samuel L. Jackson? Yes and no. A passenger found a snake stuck inside the overhead lights. Was it venomous? No one knows, as once the crew and pilots were notified about the uninvited passenger, they immediately landed and fumigated the entire plane. It is still unclear as to how the snake got in there in the first place. A clan of hyenas trap an elderly lion. Ever thought hyenas would hunt lions? According to them, whoever is not from their pack is prey. The hungry hyenas keep trying to flank the old lion in an attempt to take it down. To the luck of that lion, another lion appears and comes in to scare off the hyenas, saving the old lion. This picture was sent to us by a subscriber. He wanted to know about it. Well, this image is a screenshot taken from a clip in which an Indian man is emptying a bag full of snakes. Well, you might have heard of the expression bag of tricks. This guy from India has experience of handling snakes for 30 years. He handles them in a very careless manner and looks to be pretty fearless. One might ask, why? Well, who knows? The way he handles and releases dozens of venomous snakes is absolutely crazy. But then, he's letting them off to a better life in their natural habitat than they're used to. Goliath bird-eating spider. Yep, at first I didn't believe it either. Creatures like that do exist. Now, obviously, since this species of spider is gigantic in size, they've got an appetite for bigger prey, some of which may include lizards, toads, frogs, and even snakes. The footage shows how a spider eats a living bride alive with sheer brutality. These spiders are known to be found in South America and the Amazon rainforest. By leg span, they are second to the giant huntsman spider and 37 centimeters long, which is almost as big as a man's hand. The lifespan of these spiders is from 15 to 25 years. The Big Jake. Looks quite insane, doesn't it? Big Jake is the tallest horse in the world. It's 210 centimeters long, weighs as heavy as a Jeep, and the daily feed cost for this horse is $315. Now, you might be thinking, what's the benefit of owning such a massive creature? Well, with such a massive size and feed, they have the strength to pull logs weighing 2 tons. Now imagine the wonders that could be achieved with such an animal. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.